When people think of cyberpunk, they make the mistake of thinking that it's solely about the aesthetic. Neon lights in a Tokyo-styled future city, or the cool technology, when that's not truly what defines the genre. Cyberpunk is more about transhumanism, a capitalist hellscape where people are treated like commodities, and the unique helplessness that comes with that possible dystopia. It's not like robots took over the Earth. In Cyberpunk, the point is that there is no linchpin historical event that spiraled us into a dystopia. Cyberpunk is our future if what it is we're doing right now doesn't change. Cyberpunk is a worst-case scenario prophecy based off our current actions, and that's what's so wonderful about Edgerunners. The entire first episode cements that this setting is an honest-to-God cyberpunk dystopia, where corporations don't work our government from beneath the surface, they are our government, where if you don't have the right amount of money, you'll be left to die by the EMT, where the wealth gap has become so massive, there is no such thing as a middle class anymore, and everyone on the bottom of this society is either pushed into escapism fantasies beamed directly into your brain, or pushed into organized crime. Throughout both Edgerunners and the video game it's based on, they have this obsession. An obsession of a dream, whether that's making a name for yourself and going down in history, or going to the moon, or maybe even getting into a good school so you can at least have a stable future. And in Edgerunners, from the get-go, you know the ending. They start by showing you a cyberpsycho, someone whose brain went haywire after putting too much strain on it via cybernetic enhancements. You see him mowing down police. You see David get his first piece of chrome, commit his first crime, slowly get more chrome, all the while everyone is warning him about the dangers of modifying your body too much and the strain it puts on the brain. He sees his mentor go psycho and continues down the exact same path as Maine did, all the way until he's finally too unstable and loses his life in pursuit of a dream where he was bound to die. His dream of making a name for himself can't succeed without him dying. Even in the opening credits, you see David is shot through the head. If you paid the bare minimum amount of attention, you know that David was going to die. But the craziest thing about Edgerunners is that, on the surface, technically both David and Lucy fulfilled their dreams. Everyone in Arasaka and the criminal underworld knew David, and Lucy got to go to the moon. But we, as the viewer, know that's never what they wanted. Their top priorities were each other, not the dream. The ending is heartbreaking because the only way to achieve these dreams is to lose who you love. And it's this that hammers in what the actual meaning is. In the dystopic society they live in, people forget what's the most important part of being human: the connections you make with other people. It's cheesy, I know, but they were primed to forget something so simple. They were told to hate their organic selves so they could sell cybernetic enhancements, a literal shedding of your humanity. They were told to make a name for themselves, buy chrome, get more famous, make more money, buy more chrome to make more money, to get more famous, and on and on. The cycle gives them the false hope that they'll achieve happiness, but even when David had all this, when he's at the point where he can stop, he can't. He's stuck in that cycle, that mindset that never actually achieves anything. And he's stuck because he's traumatized by everything he's experienced, but because the society he lives in won't let him escape that cycle. He sees and is told the same lie of a dream that every person in Night City is told, and it's hard to break that mindset when it's ingrained in the society he lives in. And it mirrors the American dream that we've been so regularly burned on here in this country. He achieved his dream only to realize That wasn't a dream. It was a trap to keep you in the system. And David's death also sends the message of that hopelessness. We hope that David can overcome the strain on his brain and push beyond cyberpsychosis. We hope that David can survive and find a happy life in this world, and he doesn't. Once again, the system of Night City pushed him to his death, and we, as the viewer, no longer have any hope for him. Because in Cyberpunk, the point is that there is no hope. But the message the show does send us, for the viewers, is that David realized what is truly important: Lucy, his connection to this person. And he sacrificed everything to make sure that Lucy could survive, which I believe is telling us not to forget about our connections with other people, not to forget what makes us human. I'm sorry for the delay in getting this video out. I feel like I kind of missed the window of when this show was really spiking in terms of searches. It's rare when I find a show so good it drives me to tears. I literally cannot listen to the ending song without crying. It took me some time to stabilize after watching the show. And I would do a deep dive like I usually do with my videos, but going back and watching the show again still hurts a lot. And I really made this video to process all the thoughts floating around in my head. I know I said that I missed the window of like major search terms and, search and stuff and algorithms, and this was, I did not intend to make a video on Cyberpunk Edgerunners whatsoever. So I'm sorry this video is shorter than what I usually do. I didn't want to do a full breakdown, but I needed to do something. And there's more in Edgerunners that they put into it that has more meaning that you can rip from this show, or things that foreshadows the very end, like the ending animation of the end credits of Lucy in pain, and how when you first see it, you first think that it's her past and that her past is tragic, which it is. However, you realize after the last episode, you realize that's not the past, that is her present after David dies. And it recontextualizes it so well. There's a lot about this anime that gives a chef hand kiss, film student wet dream sort of analysis sort of deal. And this show was so influential that I did go out and purchase the video game that which is based off of, along with several of you, as of which a lot of news articles are saying that sales of Cyberpunk has spiked. And if you are concerned about whether or not it is safe to buy Cyberpunk after the very, very bad release of it being very buggy and janky, it has been fixed. It's 60 gigabytes now, but it has been fixed. It is playable. I would recommend buying it on PC if you are able to, but I'm playing it so far, and the only bugs I've seen are not game-breaking and only take you out of the moment for like a second. Edgerunners was very much an awakening on how much I enjoy science fiction. As some of you know, my favorite movie is Tron Legacy, mostly because that movie influenced me so much that I went into programming for 4 years, all through high school, before I stopped in college. And I stopped pursuing my enjoyment of science fiction because I grew older and realized that life is a lot harder than I imagined, and the fun ideas of, oh, if I get good enough at programming, I can actually create the grid from Tron. Or I could actually become the next technological savant. And you just grow up and realize that's hard and nigh impossible, it feels. And Edgerunners really gave me a new appreciation of cyberpunk and what it is and what it represents. As we get older, we learn more and more about how backwards our country or our world really is. And cyberpunk, in a cathartic way, it lets us feel that we're not alone in seeing how things may turn out in the long run. Other people realize how bad it can get and are writing about it. It's bleak and sad, but it makes you appreciate the right now. So if you did go through this video, and if you did ignore the spoiler warning at the very beginning, please, and you still haven't watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners, please go watch it. Tell me your interpretation of the meaning of the show in the comments below. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, or if you have any other ideas that I didn't consider. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful, and keep playing.